Okay, let's close this. So we have completed this counter application, and I did this in the normal JavaScript and also in the React. It is advisable to practice this multiple times before we go to project 2, which I will do in 2-3 days. So before we go that, you need to practice this project thoroughly so that you understand what are the state variables, how to update the state variables, how to call the event from the HTML, and how to create a function so that we can call that function from this HTML part in the React. So this is what you have to do. So basically the React part is only 10%. Most of the things which we do in React is purely JavaScript. So you should master the JavaScript to do a good programming in the React. So if you don't know the JavaScript concepts, then doing the React will become harder and you won't be able to do it properly. Let's do few concepts in JavaScript now. We have stopped the JavaScript since few days, and let's start that again. Okay, where is the source? Where is the console? Okay, so we did lot of arrays. So today we will work on more on the arrays. So today what we will be doing in arrays is called concatenation in array. So the command is called concat, and it is used to join 2 or more arrays. So there are various ways to join the arrays, and today we will see one of the way, that is concat. And if we go to ES6, we will see the dot operator, spread operator to join the arrays, which we will do later. Right now, let's concentrate on the concat function of the array. So if I have one variable called as cities, maybe cities1 equal to Delhi, Mumbai, maybe Los Angeles. Okay, so these are the 3 cities in one array, and I have another array with different cities. For example, Pune, Calcutta. Now it is Kolkata. Previously it was Calcutta, Moscow. So these are the 3 different cities. So now we have to merge city 1 with the cities 2. So we have a array method. And what is the array method? Array method is, I will create a variable cities equal to, then I'll take the first array, that is cities 1, and then I'll say concat. This is the concat, and I will put another array, that is cities 2. So what it will do, it will take cities 1, concatenate with the cities 2, and merge both the array, and we will get the result array. If I do cities now, it will show Delhi, Mumbai, Los Angeles, and Pune, Calcutta, Moscow. So this is the first example of the concatenation. Let's write it down in our class. So inside the JS, inside the basics, I have the array folder. Inside the array folder, I will create a new file. Since we have already run the push, pop, shift, unshift, and basics of the array, those are 5 chapters. This is the 6th chapter of the array, so I will make it 006 concat .txt, and here I will put this example. So everybody write down. Everybody write down this part of the concat. I'll give you 1 minute to complete it. Is it done? Okay. So let's go further with this concatenation. Let's talk about the syntax of this. Syntax of the concatenation. So the generic syntax is concat. So you should remember the concat as a syntax. So generally there are different formats of that concat. Another is concat and I pass the value. And another format is concat. I pass value 1, value 2, dot value n. So we can go till n value. So for example, to do this last part, let's create 3 or 4 arrays and try to see how concat works with that. So let's try to create var a equal to, I will say 1, 2, 3 for example, var b equal to 4, 5, 6, var c equal to 7, 8, 9, var d equal to 9, just 9, var d equal to 10, 11, 12. Now if I want to use the concat, I will say var e equal to a dot concat, and then I can put b comma c comma d. So it will take this array, concat with this one, and this one. So all will be merged together. And if I do console.log of e, we will see all are merged together. So this is something, the adding the syntax last part. Example. So I'll create number of examples. Okay, so just put this syntax and example, do this, write down this, and let me know once you're done. I'll give you 1 minute to finish this part. Okay, I hope you've done this part. Let's go further now. Well, let's do some more examples of concatenation. One second. So I will give one more example. Let's say we have var a equal to A, B, and C. This is one array, and then what I will do, I will create var b equal to, I will take a dot concat, and then I will pass the information like this. I will pass only one as a string or number, and I will pass second, 2 and 3 in the array. So what it will does, it will take ABC and append with 1 and then append with 2 and 3. So this is how it will work. So if I do B, we are getting A, B, C, and then we are getting this as 1, 2, 3. So this is another example. Maybe you can write down later this one. Let me write it down here. Okay, if I do P, I am getting result as this one. Okay, so this is another example of concatenation. Okay, let's take one more example of it. Okay, so let's take, let me see if I have one more example. Okay, I have one more example, but it is little complex. I will take that tomorrow, another day. It's a little complex, and I don't want to go into that complexity today. I have another example. Okay, so let's finish this first, and then we'll move to another topic. So just finish this, write down this in 1 minute, and then let's go further. Okay, I have one more example for today. Just do that. It's a little complex, but I think I can show you that one. Let's have one more one. So here I create one variable as num1 equal to, it's an array, and array has inside one array as 1. And then I have another one for num2 equal to, here I have 2 and 3 is in the array. 3 is in the array. So remember, this first one has array and second one is having 2 and 3 is an array. Now what will happen if I create another num equal to, I take num1 dot concat and here I pass num2. So here when I pass num2, this inside part will go as a num2. So this 3 will not be taken out. So it will be inside the array only. And first one also, we have array inside array. So the first number 1 will be in the array format only. So 1 and 3 will be in the array format because we are putting this part for the num2. So we are not expanding this thing. So if I do console.log of num here, it will show array of 1 because this is 1. So array of 1, 0 level, it's array of 1. And then we have the 2 and the third element is a 3. So it will not expand this 3 to separate 3. It will go as an array here. So this is a different case than what we were doing previously. Because here we are passing the variable directly inside it. We are passing variable directly inside it. So this is considered as a part of num2 and it will be, it will be considered as like this, array 2 and array. Okay, so let's write down this in the notes. This is little different because here what I was doing, I was concatenating this as an array. So 2, 3 was coming out of the array and we were getting 2, 3 like this. Okay, so here I am passing the array. So inside this there are elements. But what happened in this case? We are passing array. Inside that there is a array also. So when we run this, it returns like this. So array of 1, that is this one, and array of 1, that is this one, and 2. So that is a difference between both. Okay, so this is the concatenation part of the array. Okay, is it done? This part is done. Okay, so this is the concatenation part, and we have lot more in the arrays which we will go every day one by one. We will complete all the array part because this array will help in solving our problems easily, and all of the arrays are mostly O in complexity. So whenever you work on array part, it is O in complexity because Most of it ON complexity because we are looping in all the cases, and that is the reason we get ON complexity. Okay, so not all, but most of them are ON complexity. Okay, let's do one more thing now. So this thing is a little big. Only few part I will do today, and other part we will do another day. Okay, let's go to the basics of the JavaScript, and I will create a new file called as domtraversal.txt. Okay, what we are doing, domtraversal. So this is called domtraversal. Okay, so for this I will also create one folder or one file, another file called as dom.html. Okay, so this is my basic HTML structure, and I will write down here some HTML parts. Okay, before I go further, is there anyone who has problem in installing the React or running the yesterday's program? I want to solve that before I really work on this part. Anyone having the problem in running the React application, which we did yesterday, installing React application? If you have problem, I'll solve it now. It was working fine for everyone, whatever I showed you yesterday. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the DOM manipulation right now. So I will not do. There are a lot of parts of this DOM traversal. I will not do all that today because it's a big one. But at least I will do something today. I'll put the style here. So this is not the style class, so I will put any style color. You don't have to worry about it. I am not teaching CSS today, so don't worry about the style. This is only to make you understand that I'm putting some style. So let's put one HTML here. I will create a div with class name of grandparent and ID of grandparent ID. Since it is grandparent, it may have the child and grandchild also. So this is the grandparent. Okay, I'm just putting grandparent. Let's run this. Okay, we are running this one. Okay, let me see how it looks. Okay, so it's showing my grandparent. So let's try to do some traversal in this one. So on that day we saw that we have the query selector to access the element script. So I will go again with the query selector. I will create one variable called as grandparent, and I want to access this element, this div tag. To access this div tag, I will say document.query selector, and I can access it with the class. So I can say dot grandparent. Since I am accessing using the class, so I am saying dot, and I want to see what is coming here, console.log of. Okay, let's see what it is. So it is showing, grandparent. This is my grandparent div with all the properties of it. I can access it. So you can see div, and it's saying grandparent ID and grandparent. Since it has ID also, so it is showing that here and this here. But I can access it. using the class. I use the class to access it. So this is one way of accessing the element. Let's try to access it. I will put grandparent 2 and I want to access through using the ID. So I'll copy this ID and I will try to access it with the hash. So whenever we want to access using the ID, we have to use the hash sign. So this is the grandparent 2 using ID. Let's see. So now also I am able to access it, the grandparent element. Here also I am able to access it, but here I am accessing using ID. Here I am accessing using the class. I can also access it directly by using the ID. So there is another way also to access it, the grandparent, that is called grandparent 3. So I am accessing this element using the different ways. So these are the two ways. Now I am writing third way. So you can write anything to access it. So I'll say document dot get element by ID. And here, when I say specifically get element by ID, then I will not put hash sign. I will only give the ID name. Whereas when we go with the query selector, then I have to put the hash sign, because query selector does not know you want to access it with the class or the hash sign. But when I'm saying get element by ID, so it knows it is ID and it will try to access it using the ID. Now if I want to see it, I will see it again using this one. So if I refresh, so in all three cases I am able to access the grandparent. I can also access using the class name grandparent. So I will say var grandparent 4 equal to document dot get element by class name, and I will say which class name, grandparent. So here, though I am saying class name, so no need to put the dot sign inside. So we're not putting the dot sign inside. Now let's see the fourth one. So fourth one, I am able to access it, but it has a different type of method. You know, I'm not able to access it like this, and it is kind of collection, HTML collection, where 0 element is what we were looking for, this one. So there is only slight difference with the class name rather than in other part. Though I can go to 0th level of this one, and I can manipulate that element, that element, which we can do it whenever we want. I can go to 0 number and I can put it. So this is all the 4 ways are there. Okay, so for today, this is the only we are doing it. Tomorrow we will drill few more. Okay, tomorrow we will drill few more and we will see more example of this all 4 types, specifically query selector, because query selector is the best one, because it is the one query selector I can access class and ID, but with these two I cannot access class and ID together. So most of the people use the query selector. Okay, let's see. Okay, so just write down this part and we will play with it tomorrow in a different way. I will give some more examples. We will drill it little more on this one so that you get a thorough understanding of the DOM traversal. We will create the parent, that is, this is the grandparent. We have to create parent and child, and we have to access each of it, and we'll see some examples of it. So for today, just write down these 4 lines plus this div tag, and let me know when it's done. Yeah, so this is kind of list, and I will show you how to access this list. This cannot be accessed by normal array kind of thing, but we have to access it with some different way. Because this list looks like array, but it is not the real array. To access it, we need to convert it into the array and use it. Okay, so this is called the DOM traversal. We are learning DOM traversal. We will see many examples tomorrow, and we will see how to play with this DOM traversal. I'm just writing the notes. Okay, that's all for today. You have any questions, you can ask.